Question D. Think you do not have enough room to farm? Think again. You could farm worms under your desk with a commercially available worm farm that measures 16 by 16 by 28 inches. You can buy the worms online. At 1,200 worms per pound, you could start your own business just as John did. He's not good at keeping his records, however, and he needs your help. John buys his worms from two online stores, Worm Heaven and Wiggles R Us. John remembers that he ordered 1,200 more than twice as many worms from Worm Heaven as he did from Wiggles R Us, and he knows in total he ordered 18,000 worms. How many worms did he order from each store? So what are we actually trying to find here? We're trying to find how many worms he ordered from each store. Okay, that's what we're going for. All right, and we know a little bit about the how many he ordered and from which online store he ordered from. Okay, so in this question again, there's a little bit more to unpack, and I think the wording is a bit difficult to understand. So let's break this down. All right, 1,200 more. All right, by now, hopefully, we're getting in the habit of recognizing that 1,200 more, that means addition. Okay, and twice as many, that means multiplication by 2. All right, and he's ordering from Worm Heaven and comparing that to what he ordered from Wiggles R Us. So we're given information about the number of worms he ordered from Worm Heaven, and we're not given any direct information about how many worms he ordered from Wiggles R Us. So that should tell us that Wiggles R Us is our starting point. Okay, so I'm going to say that WRU, Wiggles R Us, is going to be equal to the number of worms he ordered from that website. All right, and since that's our starting point, I'm just going to call that number X. Okay, we don't know what it is, we're trying to solve for it. Okay, and because we don't know what it is, we use a variable. Okay, and the worms he ordered from Worm Heaven, which I'm going to call WH, is equal to 1,200 more than twice as many worms as he did from Wiggles R Us. So 1,200 more, that's addition, and twice as many, that's multiplication. So twice as many, 2x, and then 1,200 more plus 1,200. Okay, 1,200 more than twice what he got up here. All right, let's start to fill in this chart below. Okay, so we are starting with Wiggles R Us. We're going to use that information to give us Worm Heaven. Okay, so let's start with 5,000. So we're just guessing 5,000 here. So we're just going to say we ordered 5,000 worms from Worms R Us, or from Wiggles R Us. And if we ordered 5,000 worms from Wiggles R Us, we ordered 2 times 5,000 plus 1,200 from Worm Heaven. Okay, so 2 times X, 2 times 5,000 is 10,000. And then 10,000 plus 1,200 is going to be 11,200. And I encourage you to double check that on your own. Okay, and in the do part, we know that he ordered 18,000 worms total. So we need to add, okay, find the sum here of Wiggles R Us and Worm Heaven, and we're deciding, is that equal to 18,000? Okay, so in this case we have 5,000 from Wiggles R Us plus 11,200 from Worm Heaven, and that equals 16,200 worms. Okay, and we're trying to get to 18,000, so that is too small. So that means our next guess for Wiggles R Us needs to be bigger than 5,000. Okay, so keep working on this process to help you find the answer.